Yo, what's going on? It is Nick here. I'm with one of the guys inside the business, Darcy. I've been working with for around 7, 8 months now. Darcy, introduce yourself, bro.
Yep. What's going on, everyone? I'm Darcy, for those who don't know me. And yeah, I've been a part of the team for about 7 to 8 months now. And I came from a warehousing background, got into this, and not long after, I was able to replace my warehousing income. And I just spent the last 2 months living in another state working remotely.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. That's sick. So, let's go back to the complete start of your journey, man. What was the sort of thing that genuinely flicked a switch for you in obviously taking that leap and actually making the change happen for yourself?
Yeah, honestly, for me, I'd always seen people making money online and all of that sort, but it didn't really nothing really clicked into my brain until I saw you posting content, doing it. You came from a similar background to myself. I used to be in the trade, and I resonated with that and thought if he's doing it, someone I used to know personally, then why can't I? There's absolutely no reason why I can't do it too, right?
Yeah, 100%, bro. Definitely. At the end of the day, we're both, we've been in probably the exact same shoes as every single person that's watching this video that hasn't stepped foot into this space. That's one thing to keep in mind for, all of you that are watching. Me and Darcy have been in your shoes. So,
Mm.
for you, Darcy, like, what's a brief summary about obviously how things have been over the past 7 months, and how you've sort of found everything?
Honestly, with no exaggeration, I'll so confidently say that my life's trajectory has completely flipped. I went from working in a warehouse, living week to week with no real clear vision and no idea where I was heading in life. Whereas now I have a clear vision, a clear direction to get there. And I feel like I'm on a much better path too. I've never been more driven and focused towards my goals ever in my life.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane, bro. Now, talk to the people about some of your wins you've had recently, bro. You used to work three warehousing jobs at one stage. You ended up dropping all three of them, moved over to another state for 2 months to literally lock in the biz. Genuinely, how'd you do it?
Bro, honestly, I just put my head down, stayed consistent, did what I was advised to do, being posting content every day, documenting my journey, and just sticking to the basics and what works.
Yeah, got it, man. Now, for the people that are wondering, the time frame on getting results and being able to leave their job, if you would put that in your own time frame, what did that look like for you?
For me, I think it was about 6 months of just straight grinding and consistent inputs until I made my first big payment. And about 7 to 8 months in, I was able to completely leave all of my jobs, three jobs that I was working, and then hop on a one-way flight to another state to work remotely on my own terms.
It's insane, man. Dive a little deeper on how that felt for you, being able to just travel and knowing that you're able to work remotely and, you don't have to worry about clocking in, clocking out and worrying about a boss on your ass, 24/7 as well. How does that feel? And, what's the relief feel like as well?
Honestly, it was probably the greatest achievement along this journey, bro. Finally being able to leave those warehouse jobs, drop the vest for good, and basically stepping on that plane on a one-way flight to put myself in the best position possible to win. It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, 100%. And you did mention, it took you 6 months, man, to hit that first big payout. Obviously there were little ones here and there that didn't mean too much, just kept you going. But
Mhm.
in a way, when that first big payment came through, man, obviously 6 months is a long time, and there's people watching this that are probably like, man, I just want fast success, I want slow success. You know, can you talk on that sort of, that sort of journey for you? How it was a 6 month process, like it didn't all just happen at the click of a finger.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's demotivating at times when you're not seeing the monetary results coming in, but I was content with the fact that I was putting in consistent efforts every single day, even though the results weren't there. I knew I was capable and I knew I could do it. Obviously, being surrounded by people my age in the space who are doing it and are killing it is just living proof that I can do it. And then once that first big payment came in, that was just 100% motivation to just keep going and put my 100% into this because I know it's possible and I know I can do it.
Definitely, 100%. A lot of people that get into that position where it comes to like that 6 month mark, you're not reaping the rewards, you're putting in all the effort, but again, you're not reaping the rewards you think you deserve. It's where most people will quit.
Mm.
Most people will quit before they end up having their biggest win. Like, and for example, man, like imagine you quit within your fifth month, where it's like, fuck, I'm not seeing anything, I'm not doing anything, and then bang, just like that, you ended up receiving your biggest payout, and 2 months later, you've left your jobs and you've, flown out to another state. I mean, genuinely, what was going through your head? I mean, did you ever have a point in time where you were thinking about quitting, or was it just like, no, I'm trusting the process. I know I know why I'm in this, and you were just, sticking to the plan essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone goes through that when you have a little bit of self-doubt. It's pretty normal stepping into something new like this, but you just have to believe in yourself 100%. And for me, it was knowing how far I'd came and how much I was learning. I was just soaking in so much new knowledge every single day. And I got to a point where I know so much, I can't turn back now. If I turn
Mhm.
back now, I just feel guilty and live the rest of my life in regret, thinking,
Mhm.
what if I did stick it out and put 100% of my efforts in, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, scary, bro. Like, genuinely, 99% of people would quit, after 2 months of trying and seeing nothing. The fact that
Mm,
you went, 4 or 5 months with minimal results and you stuck through it. I mean, props to you, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, it's what people don't see. People see the wins, people see the success, but people don't see the hurdles that, we face. Like,
mm.
at the end of the day, when you embrace it, it's leverage, 100%. Yeah, so Darce, I mean, dive a little deeper, man, in what were some of the bigger things that, you were essentially struggling with, living mediocre, living average, working your warehouse jobs. I mean, what were some things that you were genuinely challenged with, obviously before starting and taking the leap?
I think just clarity, direction, and I was struggling financially too, you know? That was one thing, but then also just not having a clear vision on where I was headed in life was a big thing for me.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the one thing that holds people accountable in a way. Unless there's, that person that's just accepting mediocre and accepting, living average. But at the end of the day, there's a fair handful of people that, don't want to live mediocre, don't want to live average, like us, for example. We just wanted more with our lives, and it's exactly what we did. We found ourselves a vehicle to actually get us there, and
Mm.
get us into the position that we want. I feel like that's one thing that a lot of people are lacking is actually finding that vehicle to drive them to actually where they want to be. Now, just something on, that does like, where do you think you'd be right now if you didn't start when you did?
Bro, honestly, good question, but I'd still be working in a warehouse, lifting heavy ass boxes all day, every day with back problems and yeah, just hating my life, bro, honestly. It's pretty shit. And having a taste of what it's like now, working remotely, working online on my own terms, my own schedule, I could never go back. I could never go back to that ever.
Yeah, 100%. At the end of the day, that reflects on you knowing too much as well. You've worked so hard to get this far. There's like nothing in the way from, there's nothing stopping you from getting to where you want to be now, and there's nothing that's going to pull you back to go on working in that warehouse job. Now, Das, I mean, what were some of the doubts you had before joining, and how do you actually overcome those doubts?
I think honestly, it was lack of belief and not knowing if it actually works, if what you're doing actually works. But going back to what I said before about seeing you doing it in the flesh, posting your face online and showing and telling people about what you're doing and documenting the journey is what helped me get over the line and get past those limiting beliefs in my head of, you know, just not believing that it works.
100%. And it's a very common objection. It's like, well, how do I know that this is going to work for me? Now, one thing to take into consideration, it's like it's not whether it works. It's at the end of the day, it's whether you work. Because, if you got in, you had the information that's there shouldn't be anything stopping you from going and putting that information, into action. Because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, you seen me, you seen that I was doing, numbers, I was doing digits and whatnot, right? So that question of, what if it doesn't work, or how do I know this is going to work? It all comes down to you work. Do you
Mm-hmm.
work or not? Because if you do, you're going to reap the rewards. You're going to see, the results come in. But if you don't, then what's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen. You're going to stay exactly where
Mhm.
you are. There's no point, waking up in the morning and leaving all the information in bed when you get up. It's no use there. You get out of bed
Mhm.
and you bring it with you, you put it into action. Now, Das, I mean, obviously, you being a bit of a success story within our community, I mean, what are some good pieces of advice that, you could give to the viewer that's watching? Maybe something that you wish you heard before starting, like, what's some good advice that you can give out to, obviously, the people that are watching right now?
The best piece of advice that I always remember, and I always tell people who are on the fence about starting, is the fact that a lot of people are scared of being judged by other people. And my mentor said to me one day, what's more important, the fear of being judged by other people or your own success? So don't let the fear of opinions of other people stop you from being the best version of yourself that you could be.
100%, man. I couldn't agree more. Especially with that, like at the end of the day, you're doing this for yourself, you're doing it for your family, you're not doing it for anyone else.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, you're not doing it for some guy that talks shit behind your back 2 years ago. You're doing it for
Mhm.
yourself at the end of the day. Now, I mean,
Exactly.
obviously a big topic with what we do, bro, is obviously investing and putting money into, yourself. Now, some people don't usually understand what that means by saying, are you willing to invest into yourself? Can you elaborate on it, bro, and what it genuinely means?
Investing into your knowledge, into your education, investing into learning high valuable and high rewarding skill sets that will give you a return on your investment. And once you invest into learning these skill sets, you have those skills for life and you can use it to apply them into your own online business or your own tangible business that you may run down the track.
Yeah, 100%.
Essentially, you're investing into time and knowledge because there are mentors out there who have spent countless hours of their time, their hours, and their research finding what works best and putting into place actionable steps that will work best for you. So, in return for that, the only thing that you can give them for their most valuable asset being their time is an investment.
100%. And they do all the dirty work. They spent countless hours,
Mhm.
years, months, whatever you want to call it, to build themselves up into that knowledgeable asset. And obviously, they're out here relaying their information. And it's like, what do you have as a beginner, you know, that they don't have? The only thing that you can do is invest your money into these people that are smart and are, in the flesh of things and know what they're doing. Because at the end of the day, you've got that mentor by your side, at the tip of your fingertips. It's like having him or her right there in front of you, you get your questions answered. And at the same time, keep in mind your mentor's probably gone through the roadblocks, gone over, the bumps in his own journey. So obviously that's going to help you, um, you know, prevent that from happening to yourself as well, because obviously the answers are there. You're going to be two, 3 steps ahead.
Mhm.
Now, I mean,
100%.
obviously, investing into your knowledge and your education, your online education is such a big thing right now, but why would you recommend investing into yourself and not, going putting money into stocks or trading? Why would you say investing into your skill sets is the best possible investment that could be made?
I mean, my personal opinion is if you're investing your money into stocks, you're basically placing a bet on someone else to make you rich. Whereas if you invest into yourself, it's on you. It's on you. You're putting your faith into yourself. And compared to trying to do it on your own and getting all the free value off YouTube, you're going to waste a lot of time and you're going to make a lot of mistakes in the process. That's why I invested into a mentorship to fast track my journey, save me a lot of time and mistakes in the process by having that extra support and having that extra guidance to tell me if I'm doing things wrong, tell me what's right and what's wrong every now and then.
It's
Because
like,
if you're on your own, you're on your own. You're going to make mistakes, you're going to fuck up.
yeah,
And if you don't have someone there to guide you, give you extra support, you don't know how long it's going to take you, really.
yeah,
So I'd
100%.
say that you'd be shooting yourself in the foot by trying to do it all on your own. um, and having that ego that you can do it on your own because there are a lot of people out there that are smarter than you and have been doing it for a lot longer and can actually help you.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more, man. I mean, at the end of the day, you can only go so far on your own.
Mm.
Now, for you, man, like, where do you see yourself going with this, in the next 3 to 5 years? Like, what's that going to look like for you, and where do you genuinely see yourself? I mean, we always talk about manifestation, so run me through it.
In the next 3 to 5 years, bro, 100K months, have my own business, scale the fuck out of that thing. And I genuinely believe I'll be a millionaire by 25. I'm 20 years old right now. That's the goal.
Yeah, yeah. I can resonate with that, bro. I'm probably just as hungry as you, bro. And I mean, yeah, by 23, 25, bro, I want a couple M's at least. Yeah,
Sure,
man. And I
it's going to
mean,
happen.
yeah. And I mean, for you, like, do you feel that you're gonna go out and start your own business? Um, you know, ASAP? Are you looking at building the skill sets up, to, A1 class? Like, what's the go with that?
I think that's something to plan over the next 8 to 12 months. Something to put in the works, something to brainstorm, something to consider over the next year in
Yeah,
that time frame.
100%. I mean, it's just day by day in this game. That's what it is. People,
Mhm.
people see, people want to see, the results so quickly. People want to see, they want to jump, they want to advance the next 3 years. But realistically, you've just got to take it day by day. Like,
Mhm.
talk to me 8 months ago when I was working my construction job. You think I'd be sitting here, at my desk, making 5 figures a month? Like, if I told myself that, I'd probably laugh at myself and tell myself to shut up, and I'd walk away. But at the end of the day, that's how quick things can change. Literally, just like that, in the blink of an eye, genuinely your whole trajectory is just completely changed. Your life's done a 360 before your eyes.
Mm.
It's crazy.
Split.
100%. Like, yeah, it's crazy how fast things can change. And I mean, you know, we might be millionaires next year. I mean, who knows? No one fucking knows, bro. Genuinely. Now, just before we wrap things up, Das, I mean, if you were to compare yourself to, before you started and now where you are, I mean, what would you say to yourself?
What would I say to my past self? I'd say to just start because every day that you're not doing that thing that you told yourself you're going to start doing, it's just procrastination and you're delaying your own potential without even knowing it. See, I wish I started sooner. I wish I started 3 years ago
Yeah.
instead of 8 months ago. There are fucking teenagers right now living in Miami, penthouses, driving McLarens, bro. Our age.
Yeah.
Imagine where you could be right now if you started sooner. I think that's everyone's biggest regret, not starting sooner.
Mm. And it's
So
crazy
don't keep
because,
delaying it.
yeah, it's crazy because the people that are procrastinating and scared to start, it's like when you do, bro, because you will,
Mhm.
you're gonna want to shoot yourself in the foot because you didn't start when you first thought about it. I mean, it's a common thing that I say to, the people that reach out to me and whatnot. It's a common question that I ask. It's, how long have you genuinely been thinking about making money online for? I've got people that come to me say 2 years, a year, 4 years, and I'm like, bro. Imagine where you'd be if you started 3 years ago, 2 years ago, a year ago. Where would you genuinely be? And that's the
Mm,
crazy thing because then they all, they start dreaming, oh man, if I started back then, I'd be here, I'd be there, I'd be everywhere. But it's like, bro, you didn't. You've just
mm.
lost a whole year. So it's like, what are you waiting for now? There's
Yeah.
no perfect time to start. The best time to start was yesterday, and the second best
Mm.
time to start is now. So, Darcy, I mean, it's been a pleasure, bro. You're absolutely killing it in this space, and you've got a very, very bright future ahead of you, man. So, it's gonna be sick. So, let's absolutely hit it, man. Let's do it. And to all of you that are watching, all right, I'll leave Darcy's Instagram in the description down below, and I will also leave my Instagram in the description down below. And if you are watching this video and you do want to start your own online journey, and hopefully start making something of yourself, just DM me the word work on Instagram and I'll get back to every single one of you and help you all out personally. And who knows, you might just be that next success story.